Hello, hello, YouTube. Are you ready for what is the most exciting time in the old school RuneScape sphere? It is time for Leagues once again. This is a yearly event. This year we've got Leagues 5 Raging Echoes, and they're bringing some brand new stuff to the table this year that is super exciting to me. So, over the last couple of weeks, they have been dropping teasers. And if you're not familiar with what Leagues is, it is a game mode where you get a fresh start account and you get to pick from relics as you progress through the league. All these relics have some crazy buffs, like higher XP, you get different perks like your mining and woodcutting get buffed so that your drops just go straight to your bank account, or it'll automatically like fire make your logs or fletch them, all this kind of crazy stuff. Super awesome. And then they've been teasing all of these relics over the last few weeks. And I want to go over some of the highlights because there's some changes this year that are super exciting. Now, normally, you only get to have one combat style to pick mastery over. This year, they're swapping that up, and they're giving us our choice of combat mastery through a tree. And as you progress through the league, you can get to do some tasks that will help you, or that will enable you to unlock perk points to put through this combat mastery tree, and it's going to give you all kinds of buffs. We're going to go over them here. For every time you hit a new tier, there's a passive that unlocks. At tier 1, you get a 95% chance to save your weapon charges, ammunition, and runes used for your spells. Normally, that used to be locked into whatever combat style you chose, whether it was melee or ranged or magic. So now they're giving it to us all in one. It doesn't matter what style you want to use, you're going to get that perk. Passive tier 2, you get healing from all sources is increased by 20%. So that means like a shark normally heals 20 HP, you're going to get 24 HP from that shark now. Tier 3, you get accuracy with all styles increased by 100%. That's significant. I mean, who doesn't want to be more accurate? Who doesn't want to have a higher chance to get them hits and up their DPS? Tier 4, we got damage taken is reduced by 15%. Let's say you take 100 damage off a hit. Normally that would kill you, but that damage is going to get reduced by 15%, so that 100 damage actually becomes 85. Still probably pretty likely to take you out, but a win's a win. Tier 5, prayer point gain is increased from all sources by 25%. So that means if your prayer pot normally pops you up for 20 prayer points, now you're getting 25. Congratulations. Tier 6, I'm not real over the moon about Tier 6. It is what it is. Attacks with all styles now have 60% prayer penetration. Sure, that's significant because it's going to allow you to use some different styles against bosses that are normally might be praying against it, like Alphite Queen, for example, usually has some prayer protections. So you can pen those prayers. So that's just covering the passive relics though. And you get points by completing tasks. What you got to do to get those tasks is, you can't see it right now because it's under me, but if you look now, the first one, defeat a giant. Super easy. You should be able to complete that within an hour of starting the game. Defeat 10 monsters with a combat level of 100 or higher. Might take you a little longer, but pretty easy. Defeat Scurrius by yourself. Super easy. Defeat a monster with a Slayer requirement of 55 or higher. Super easy. Defeat Jad in the fight caves. Pretty easy. You should be able to take out at least the first 4, probably within, I don't know, within the first day or 2 on the league. Going after Jad, if you're really good, you could probably take that out the first day. I kind of suck, so, I'm probably going to need a couple of days to get that one. Reaching a combat level of 100, should be able to do that probably within the first couple of weeks. Again, I'm a little slow and I'm kind of bad at the game, so I'm going to base that off my time. The third one is to defeat an Echo Boss. Now, we haven't gotten to that yet, so we'll come back and cover that soon. And then the next 2 are defeat 2 unique Echo Bosses and defeat 3 unique Echo Bosses. And then your final and 10th point is to defeat Thuck in the Inferno. I may not get 10 points. I don't know if I can beat the Inferno. That's a tall order, even for a overpowered Dream build in leagues. That might be a little hard for me. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the different tiers here. I mean, they're clearly on the screen. You're capable of pausing the video and reading them if you want to. So, it's all our combat masteries. I'm super excited for the way that they're changing it up this year. I think I'm definitely going to max out range because that tier 6 range perk sounds so good. You never miss with ranged. It only applies to PVM, but that means you have a 100% accuracy rating for your ranged attacks. I'll mess with it. I'll take it. Now, I mentioned Echo Bosses. Something new this year is there are 9 different regions that you can choose to unlock 3 of. Each region has its own unique Echo Boss. And an Echo Boss is going to be a buffed up variant that's kind of got a special extra unique drop that you can earn. In the desert, that's going to be the Calphite Queen. The Gauntlet is your option in Tirnwan. In Karen, you've got Hespori. You've got the Grotesque Guardians in Mauritania. In the Wildy, you've got the KBD. DK's over in Fremennik. Kandarin, you've got Smoke Devil. Cerberus for Asgarnia. And Soul Heredit / the Fortis Coliseum for Barlamore. So let's go over each boss here in just a second. Something else they also did with these boss drops is they made it some quality of life changes for the League, where if it is an item that requires more than one region to unlock, it will just drop the completed item rather than just drop the component. So let's say you take out, let's see, let's pick. Yeah, we'll pick Cerberus. No, let's not pick Cerberus. Let's pick. Let's see. Yeah, we'll pick on Phantom Muspa. We'll pick on that one. So normally it will drop you the Ancient Icon. I think that's what it's called. That gives you the upgrade for the Ancient Staff. But instead of dropping that, it will now just drop you the straight up buff staff. It'll give you the upgraded staff instead of dropping you the components. That also applies to like Theater of Blood. Instead of getting the hilt to get the Avernic Defender, you just get the Avernic Defender. They also made a change where all of the Desert Treasure 2 bosses can drop all of the pieces of the I guess I don't remember what the name of the axe is. The Executioner's Axe? Is that what it's called? I don't know. Somebody correct me. But yeah, each boss will drop all of the components instead of just dropping their unique piece. And the raids also will drop your best in-slot item from the other raids, whereas Chambers of Zarek, you can get a Tumican Shadow or a Scythe of Vitur as a drop option. If you do Tombs of Amasket, you can get the Scythe of Vitur and the Twisted Bow in your loot table. And in the Theater of Blood, you can get either the Twisted Bow or the Shadow. But it's not just going to give you the item. If you manage to roll one of those uniques, it's going to give you a voucher that you can turn in with the Sage for your choice of drop. So you're not forced to get multiple shadows or something because your luck is just too good and you can't happen to get the drop that you want. But let's get on to our Echo bosses. First up, we've got Cerberus, everybody's favorite hellhound. Now, Cerberus's drop is the Dog Sword. It is a combination of every god sword. So if you spec with it, you get the effects of the Armadillo Godsword, which is increased damage and accuracy. You get the Bandos stat reduction. You get the Zamorak's freeze. You get Sardamon's hit point and prayer restoration effect. And the Ancient one gives you marks a target for sacrifice. I don't know what that one does. I've no familiarity with the Ancient Godsword. After that, we've got the Calphite Queen over in the desert. Drops the Drygore Blowpipe. It is basically the it has the Fang passive for its passive, where you'll roll your accuracy twice and take the higher of the two hits, or the higher of the two rolls. Still uses darts for ammunition. It also has a faster attack speed, I believe, than the regular blowpipe. Otherwise, it's pretty comparable. Mauritania, we've got the Grotesque Guardians, and they drop the Gloves of the Damned. They count as the Guardians, or the Gloves of the Damned, count as wearing an Amulet of the Damned. Pretty cool. I like the sound of that. It also doubles the effect of all Barrow set effects in Amulet of the Damned editions. So, if it's doubling that, say you're wearing Carol's, right? Carol's has a chance to do an extra hit. Well, if it's doubling that, either it's going to give you a guaranteed hit, because I think it's a 50% chance, so either that means it'll give you a 100% chance to get the extra hit, or it will give you a 50% chance to hit 2 additional times. Maybe, I don't know. We'll just take that one at face value for right now. It also, I believe, gives you the same stats as Barrow's Gloves. So, it's Barrow's Gloves plus an Amulet of the Damned all in one slot. I like it. Over in the Wilderness, we've got the KVD, who has not one, but 2 special items. And they are the Thunder Kopesh, which, if you spec with it, it attacks twice, and if either attack is successful, an additional lightning bolt is summoned, rolling up to 100% of the original attack's max hit. It's got a passive effect where it deals full damage to the Court Beast, and has a other passive effect of a 20% chance to trigger AoE lightning bolts under the target, hitting anything in a 3x3 radius. It rolls with 50% of the original attack's max hit. And then we also have the Thousand Dragon Ward. The Thousand Dragon Ward gives you immunity to all status effects. Poison, Venom, Dragonfire, Ice Breath, Swamp Decay, Disease, Desert Heat, Ice, Prison, Brimstone Dungeon floor damage. You get immunity to Sulfur Clouds, and you also get resistance to the Cold and Ice stat drains. The stats on that are combining that of one of the other wards, probably like the Odium ward or something like that. This is just the first one that comes to mind. And I believe it also combines that with the buffed up stat pool of the Defender. So you're getting huge attack stat bonuses, pretty good defense stat bonuses. It gives you a prayer bonus, it gives you melee strength bonus. Those are pretty good drops. If I actually cared about doing Wildy content, that would probably entice me to do that region. It low-key is somewhat enticing me to do that region. And then we've got Thermi up next over in Kandarin. Thermi drops the Devil's Element. Special effects, elemental attacks that exploit an NPC's weakness will treat the weakness as twice the amount. So if it's got a 25% weakness, it'll be a 50% weakness. It also provides unlimited elemental runes when equipped. I feel like there was something extra on that I'm not remembering. Maybe not. I don't know. On to the next one. We've got the DKs up there in the Frem region. You've got the Amulet of the Monarchs and the Emperor Ring. Both of them have the same stats, more or less, where they give you plus 30 to all attack and defense ratings, and then they also give a plus 15 melee and range strength bonus, as well as a plus 10 prayer bonus. The Amulet of the Monarchs gives you a 10% damage buff to magic, and the Emperor Ring gives you a 5% buff to magic damage. And then we've got Tiranwan, we've got the Hunlef. It gives you the Crystal Blessing. The Crystal Blessing gives you the Crystal Armor set effect of bonus accuracy and damage for all melee weapons while equipped. It also features a plus 5 prayer bonus. We've got Paspori over in Kourend. It drops the Nature's Reprisal. the special effects for that is like it is treated like a salamander. It has access to all 3 attack styles, magic, ranged, and melee. It's also one of the few ranged melee weapons. You charge it with nature and earth runes. I actually do kind of like that item. Unfortunately, I just don't think I want to do the content in Korend, so I'm probably going to give a pass on that one. And then in Varlamore, we've got Soul Heredit, who also drops 2 items, the Sunlight Spear and the Sunlit Bracers. The Sunlit Bracers give you some damage, or some attack and defense buffs, as well as some melee and range strength bonus, and they give you for a passive effect, a 100% increase to all healing received, and it is additive with other modifiers. So that 20% that you get from your passive combat mastery will stack with this to give you 120%. So now that Shark that was doing 20 is now going to give you 44. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. And then we've got the Sunlight Spear, which is a 5-tick weapon. It has a special effect of getting a sunlight stack every attack up to a maximum of 20. And then the special attack for it, you sacrifice 7 sunlight stacks. It'll hit every NPC within 3 tiles of the player. Damage is increased by 3% per player bonus. That's pretty good. I like it. And then yesterday's teaser that they finally ended with, the final one, was teasing the entire relic tree. In previous years, there have been only 6 tiers of relics. I think last year, or maybe the year before, for Leagues 3, there was 7 tiers. I could be misremembering that, but I think there was one year where there was 7. However, this year, we've got 8 tiers of relics. And I think I already know what I'm going to do. I think for my build, I'm planning on doing Power Miner. We're going to go Dodgy Deals. I kind of want to do Clue Compass, but I think I'm actually going to do Fairy's Flight. Taking Golden God for sure. Slayer Master, Banker's Note, Pocket Kingdom, and Guardian is what I'm thinking for mine. As for my regions, I'm still a little bit up in the air, but I think I'm taking Tirwan and Fremennik for sure. Or not Tirwan and Fremennik, Tirwan and Mortania for sure. And then also probably Fremennik, but I might pick something different. Let me know what you think down in the comments, or what you're gonna do for your build. I know I'm pretty excited for this. We're about, let's see, service come up at 6 a.m. tomorrow, my time. So we're about 13 and a half, 14 hours away from the launch of that. So I'm super excited. I will be streaming almost every single day during Leagues to bring you some Leagues content. So if you want some OSRS content, if you want some Lone Fenris content, there's going to be plenty of it for you. I will be uploading all the VODs to YouTube here. Otherwise, you can look in the description for the link to my Twitch page where I live stream. And if you're just too lazy to do that, you can just type it in yourself. Twitch.tv/TheLoneFenris. I'm super excited for this. I hope you are too. I will see you out there in Eleanor. Let's rock this league.